Hey folks, welcome to Verified Investing Alerts here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. My name is Gareth Soloway, Chief Market Strategist here. Today's date is Thursday, January 21st, 2021. I'm going to go over a bunch of charts here, folks, that are hitting key resistance. And I think this is important because we're talking about many leaders, whether it's Amazon, Google, in this case, Ford has been on a rampage higher. But the fact that a lot of them are hitting key levels, it means that we need to watch very closely over the coming days to see if they can break above the levels or do they fail. If they fail, it means the markets could be due for a pullback. If they break above, there could be further upside. So let's take a look first and foremost at Ford. Ford topped out here at $12.15. In the live day trading room, I took a short with members at $12.13. We got in 2 cents prior to the highs of the day. The reason was very simple. Number one, take a look at this trend line. All right, look at that pivot top right there. Beautiful double top right into that level. The stock is actually up a time count. Time counts are something we teach here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. They're part of the cycle analysis and really important to understand. So you have a time count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then that tops you out right there. And then right into the double top, it gave us that opportunity to short it. You had also a time count on the intraday when we pulled the trigger on that. So this was a great little sell opportunity. Now the question is, in the coming days, does it push above this level? That's going to be what I'm very curious about. I also bought some puts on this as well. We're in the money on these as well in verified option alerts. Now, just to quickly, before we get into other charts here, just a reminder, you can follow me on Twitter at Gareth Soloway. Huge following. I put out awesome tweets on chart setups, market commentary, etc. You can also come to InTheMoneyStocks.com. That's InTheMoneyStocks.com. Look for my name. Under my name at the top of the website, there's a drop down with my 2 services, Verified Investing Alerts, which is for stock swing trades. Also, you get daily 20-minute videos as well as weekly live broadcasts where you ask me questions. The other service is Verified Option Alerts, where I put all my option trades out for members. This year in Verified Investing Alerts, we already have 6 winners just in this early portion of the month, and we're off to a great start in 2021. All right, let's go back to this chart here. Ford, we looked at that one. Now let's take a look at a couple other charts that I'm eyeing. KBH, look at this double top right here. Look at the move to the upside. Basically, in the last 2 weeks, the stock is up 30% right into a double top, and look at the pullback you're seeing already. You might, in fact, get a topping tail. A topping tail would be a bearish signal here, but look at that beautiful double top. KBH is looking like a sell here or a short opportunity. Now, so far, Ford and KBH are not market-moving stocks, but we got to move to the market movers because they are significant. Take a look at Google. All right, now Google, you have a topping tail forming, so this is where the stock surged up early and is now the institutions. Basically, topping tails are formed by institutional selling, right? You have a stock that's hitting all-time highs like Google. Institutions, as it's surging up, come in and sell into the small investor that are buying these things and running them higher. That creates the long tail. If you get a close in the lower 25% of the candle, it denotes a topping tail. The reason why this is important, it's not just the topping tail. All right, look at this, folks. Take this high pivot, connect it to this high and this high, and I want to show you what you get here. All right, look at this. All right, look at that trend line. Pivot high, pivot high, pivot high, and look, you pierced it today, you're back below it. That's very important on a technical basis. All right, the fact that it's seeing selling after piercing that level. So watch that very closely, folks. That could be something that becomes a big deal because if stocks like Google start pulling back, you can guarantee the markets will pull back as well. Now, Amazon is even more interesting to me because this had kind of a triangular pattern here that we were paying attention to. And I want to just go to this real quick. So you have this general, here's a pivot low, kissed it here, pierced it here, kissed it here, and then you started to look like it was going to break down. It was inching below, trying to get below this level, and then you've seen a surge the last couple days. But look at this, folks. All right, connect these high pivots, and you could even connect it to this one right here. So through this one, here's a touch right here, and look at where you're trading. You're trying to trading right into this resistance here. Now, if this closes above, it could open the door to further upside on Amazon, which would be bullish for the market, just like if Google pushes up and gets through that upsloping trend line I showed you, that would be bullish. But if they both fail, then you're looking at the potential for 2 major companies, 2 major stocks to pull back. Lastly, let's take a look at Apple real quick here. Apple is moving up, but look at what's coming up here. Pivot high, and pivot high. So it does have a little bit more upside to go, but it could be getting close to a major resistance, which would be a triple top. Now, triple tops aren't as big as double tops. Double tops are more powerful. Triple tops are definitely weaker, so it wouldn't shock me to see Apple be one of the leaders here, even though the market cap continues to be above $2 trillion. Now, remember, we're coming into earnings season, all right? We saw Netflix earlier this week. Interesting thing on Netflix, let me show you this, folks. Netflix, here was your channel, right? Pivot highs here, pivot lows here. It closed above yesterday, but look, sellers are coming back in, and look, it's actually back below that line. So what we're watching here on Netflix is, I want to see where this closes. If it closes above the line, I think Netflix could go higher. If it closes below, you could see Netflix just slowly fade here, which would be not good for the stock chart nor the market, since obviously we had a major tech rally yesterday on the back of Netflix earnings. And again, Netflix isn't that big of a company, $250 billion, which is big, right? But in the scheme of things, what was more important, it was the first technology stock to report that people pay attention to, and therefore that was a big deal. And we saw other stocks like Amazon, Google, Apple, Microsoft, Facebook yesterday ripping higher on the back of those earnings. All right, remember we have earnings from Intel today, Intel earnings today, so that stock is up a little bit going into those earnings. There's a gap fill here. I don't honestly think there's a lot of upside in Intel. You kind of kiss this gap fill. This is probably my short-term upside resistance. If it falls on earnings, you could fill the gap back here. Because they just changed CEOs, generally this is kind of the quarter where if there's bad news, they're going to say it. And I think that that's important to recognize, that I don't really think, even if they do poorly, I don't think there's a lot of downside here, because people are going to say, okay, well, that was the old CEO's problems. Now we're with a new CEO. So these type of things often happen with switchovers. The other company reporting today that I'll be watching is IBM. IBM has been trending higher here. The stock has rallied quite a bit, but one of the things I'll be watching very closely is this trend line here. So you have basically a flat top. If IBM can trade above this area, it actually has a shot to go all the way up here. So I'm, even though it's rallied up, I'm actually slightly bullish on IBM. Not enough to take a position going into earnings, mind you, but just in general, usually stocks that rally like this into earnings, I'm not as bullish on, but I would be slightly bullish on this. Not enough, again, to take a position long, though, going into that. So again, just keep an eye on this level, because I do think if you get above this level, it has upside potentially all the way back to $155 a share. And one of the things to just kind of keep in mind is that while PE expansion has been going on with almost every stock out there, IBM really hasn't participated as much in that. And that makes me think that, again, you could be in a position where this stock could actually surprise to the upside and then see a lot of people chasing it as it becomes more of a hot stock again. All right, so that's my analysis. Reminder, come follow me on Twitter at Gareth Soloway, or come to inthemoneystocks.com. You can sign up for verified investing alerts or verified options. Again, new trades coming out today. Be ready. I've already put out one options trade, more to come. Have a good one, folks. Take care.